They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Boo. Bienvenue à Henry Wheeler's Movie Reviews, where we take a look at films that I've never seen before that others probably will have done. And for my inaugural horror season, we're going to be having a look at the film from the 1960s and go to France for the 1960 Georges Franju film Les Yeux Sans Visage, or Eyes Without a Face. I've heard much about this film and the influence it's had on popular culture and horror films in general, so I'm looking forward to finally getting to see it. So without further ado, let's give it a go. So the story surrounds a doctor who accidentally disfigured his daughter, Christiane, in a car accident, and as a result she is given a white, expressionless mask to wear, and through his assistant he kidnaps young women in order to take their face to replace his daughter's in an attempt to give her a perfect face. So to begin with, the first thing that hit me was the title music, which sounded a lot more playful than this film would suggest, and it made it sound a bit like a slapstick comedy. No, this film opens with a body being disposed in a river, so not light family entertainment, certainly. And through the film, as it progresses, you hear the music more, and it feels slightly more sinister with each use of it, which is kind of interesting. I like that. Visually, this film is really elegant, and the scenes where you see Christiane move through the house like a ghost, with her twig-like figure moving inertly, almost gliding, it's so gorgeous to look at, and I just love how she's shot, and the mask itself is really creepy. There's just something delicate about it though. There's an uncanny quality too, which is quite unsettling. It just looks so iconic, and you can see the influence it's had on horror cinema. You know, Michael Myers' mask owes quite a debt to it, and to a certain extent Leatherface as well. The performances all around are pretty good. Christiane is such a meek character who, I mean, you really feel for her anguish that she has to endure whilst her father continues to try and fail to find appropriate face donors. And the father, Dr. Genessier, isn't a one-dimensional mad scientist character. There's a real sense of conviction in the performance that he desperately wants what's best for his daughter, but at the same time he feels conflicted with what he has to do in order to make that happen by, you know, removing faces. Which brings me to the face removal scene, which for 1960 is pretty graphic and really had me wincing at times. It's an impressive achievement in practical effects that they managed to pull it off for that time. And the monochrome photography really adds to the really unsettling nature of this film as well. It's just really effective, and the scene prior to it where you get the reveal of Christiane's face is pretty suitably horrifying. There's also a subplot relating to the local police force in Paris looking for a missing Swiss student who was lured in and kidnapped by Dr. Genessier's assistant, who wears this pearl necklace, as they describe in the film, like a choker, to mask the scars of her face transplant, which Dr. Genessier has completed for her previously, which was a success, unlike the attempts for Christiane. It's a really effective horror film, but it's also got a lot of sadness in it as well. It's a very tragic story, and I was hooked from beginning to end. It's got great defined characters, and I loved it.
I am going to give this a 9 out of 10.
Ultimately, I think this is a really excellent film, and what a great year it was for horror. You had Psycho, Peeping Tom, and this. So if you've watched it, let me know what you thought about it in the comments. And as always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Until next time, au revoir.